Welcome back to SoulSilver, everybody. Beat Proton, and I hope we're nearing the end. It looks like we are. Gotta fight this lady again. We can soon be rid of Team Rocket. Forever. Last time we fought her with Lance. I'll take her on by myself. It'll be cool. Then we can move on and go do either more random exploring with Surf and shit, or just go straight for the 8th gym, or whatever. I don't know, I'll just do what I feel like, do whatever's fun. Let's do this thing. And meanwhile, I can talk about random stuff. Like how my keyboard is oddly, weirdly broken. All of a sudden one day, the 4 key is just pressed in. It's just pressed in permanently. It won't come back up, and I can't push it. So I have to use the 4 on the, the number pad on the side. Not a big deal. But also, the weirdest part is that I cannot type a capital T. If anybody can explain this to me, feel free. I can type a lowercase t. If I hit just T, it's fine. If I hold down the left shift key and try to make a capital any other letter, that's fine too. I was gonna switch, but I'm like, since he's at low health, I just decided to keep Loopy out. But if I hold down the right shift key, I can do a capital T. So how does that make sense? The left shift key only does not work with the letter T. I don't understand. I don't get it. So that's something. It might be possessed. Very well could be. Okay, well, I guess we'll bring you out. Not really feeling your health situation. Speaking of that, though, that's a good segue. Possessed random object with letters on it. I recently watched the movie Ouija because the prequel, the second movie that came out, which is a prequel, I heard was actually really good. Of course, I heard that the first one was terrible. I'll just use this. But the prequel was made by different people and was good. And I wanted to see that one, but I decided to watch the original first, just to really see how terrible it was so I can compare them. And my god! Holy shit! Never watched the movie Ouija. I had no idea. I knew it was bad. Everybody hated it, but holy fuck! I couldn't believe it. It was so horrendous. I could go on a huge-ass rant about the movie Ouija. Holy hell. It was just so boring. It was its biggest crime. It was an hour and a half long. Less. Without the credits, it was less than an hour and a half. And it felt so long. Nothing happened, like in the movie. It was so terrible. I beat this lady. Okay. I beat your son a while ago, too. How do you feel about that? But yeah, like, the girl kills herself at the beginning, and then I'm at the half-hour mark, and nothing else has happened. I get to the hour mark, like, one other person has died, I guess. And it's like, nothing is happening. Nothing was going on. It's like, there's a couple scenes of them playing the Ouija board, and a couple times where the ghost shows up and is like, woo! But most of the movie is just them, like, at school, being like, man, that's pretty fucked up what happened. And they're like, yeah, it is, and just doing nothing. Most of the movie is nothing, and it was ungodly boring. It felt twice its length. The characters? Non-existent. There were no characters. They were just random cardboard cutouts. Nothing to them whatsoever. Anyway, before I talk more about that, we got some kind of important dude. Oh, you managed to get this far? You must be quite the trainer. We intend to take over this radio tower and officially announce our comeback. I had to scratch myself so my right hand was occupied so I couldn't hit the A button immediately. That should bring our boss Giovanni back from his solitary training. We are going to regain our former glory. I will not allow you to interfere with our meticulous plans. Right, buddy. So yeah, like, I legitimately forgot that the characters existed while I was watching the movie. Like, this guy died, and, there were just a couple characters left who hadn't died. And then one of the other dudes showed up, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about him. I forgot he was in the movie. And he was the main character's boyfriend, so he wasn't just like a random little side dude. He was one of the more important side dudes. And I forgot that he was in the movie. And then he died, and I was like, is that it? Is that all of them? Are they all dead now except for the main girl? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But then her sister showed up, and I'm like, oh yeah, she had a sister. Weird. I forgot that the characters existed while the movie was still playing. That's how bad it was. And it didn't even, like, try to be scary. At all. There were no scares. Even the few jump scares. Like, literally only a few, which I guess I should praise it for, because jump scares are stupid. But I feel like then they would have at least been trying to scare. But even the few jump scares were so poorly done. All they were the friend coming around the corner being like, oh hey, it's just me! And I wanted to fucking murder everyone, because that's garbage. But there were like barely any. Most of the things that happened with the people dying were just like really quick, simple things, and it's like, oh, okay. There was literally nothing to even be scared of. My natural human instincts to jump at a loud noise didn't even kick in, because it was so fucking boring and shitty. That's how bad it was. I truly believe that if you were to be scared by the movie Ouija, you would have to be a baby. Because anybody who's older than a baby, it wouldn't be possible for you to be older than a baby. Because if you get scared that easily, then like anytime the doorbell rings, you'd have a heart attack and die. So you wouldn't have made it older than a baby. It was one of the worst fucking movies. It was so boring. Nothing happened. There were no scares, no characters, no story. It was fucking trash, and I'm mad. Like, it made me mad that it exists. It offended me that it exists. Like, that this is a professional Hollywood product that these people got paid to make, and people paid to see, and it made a bunch of money. Oh boy, the silver wing. And like, that is what we get. That is what happens when these professional people come together. That is the product that we get. That honestly is pathetic, and it kind of pisses me off, because it was so bad. Fuck. I guess it gave us the prequel. Luckily, because it made money, we got a prequel, which is apparently good, so I guess there's that. I haven't watched it yet, though, so I can't really say, but holy shit. Hated that movie. What do you want? No! Okay. Talking about Ouija! Fucking jeez, man. Ouija. I did it. I killed Team Rocket. They're all dead. I don't know. I feel like that was like a waste of time. I feel like that was a detour. Like, you know, Team Rocket was there. I could have done without him. I don't really feel any great sense of accomplishment, because they were all really shitty. Like, none of them left an impression on me. You know, it's not even Giovanni. It's fucking Archer, who? And he sucked too, and, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's out of the way. They were just a random little side project for me on my actual quest to conquer the world. I mean, the gyms. Totally, is what I meant. Alright, we're gonna just move on. Is there no Mart here? That's a shame. I'll do backtracking later. For now, I'd rather just move on. Just go ahead and do stuff. No, I don't want to. No. Okay, let's go this way and do stuff. I'm not even gonna bother picking the apricot, apricorn, whatevers anymore. Passing them up. I don't care. The bloopy sound effect has gotten old. Anyway. I also recently watched the first episode of Netflix's A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I didn't even realize had come out. I knew it was coming out in January, but I didn't realize it came out. It apparently came out, like, on the 13th. I found out the next day, but still. I was like, oh, I didn't hear anybody say anything about that. But, yeah, I read those books when I was a kid. I actually never read the final one, for some reason. But I read them a lot when I was a kid, and I loved them, and I even enjoyed the movie, just because it's just a stupid fun time. But I'm really curious to see what they do with the Netflix show that's going to adapt the entire series. I've only watched the first episode so far. But yeah, I'll have more to say once I watch more. I'd like to do a video on it on the other channel. It's kind of hard for me to buy Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf, but we'll see how it goes, and other than that, it's pretty cool. But yeah. I also watched Hellboy. We're just going to talk about everything that I watched. Give it a quake. The first Hellboy, I had seen it before, but I watched it again, and I didn't really remember much, but I guess I remembered vaguely liking it, and I remember liking the second one more. I'm going to watch that again soon. But the first one, upon rewatch, it was alright. I don't know. It wasn't, like, bad, but it didn't really do much for me. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess, fine. Not really much that stands out. The only thing is, the thing that really makes it is Ron Perlman as Hellboy. He's awesome. Clearly having a ton of fun with it. What up, Todd? You seen Hellboy? Alright. That's good. Fucking kill yourself, Todd. Anyway, Hellboy, right? So yeah, Ron Perlman was really cool, but everything else was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Nothing really interesting in any department. The one thing that I want to talk about, it was kind of weird. The movie opens with narration, and he's saying, like, oh, what makes a man a man? Is it where he comes from? Such and such and such and such. And then it closes with the same thing, and he's like, what makes a man a man? And I don't think it's where he comes from. I think it's what he chooses to do with his life. It's not where he begins, but where he ends. And I was like, was that in the movie? Like, was that a thing? Was that like a theme of the movie? Because I don't really think that was ever in the movie. If you've seen the movie, do you know what I mean? Like, they said it at the beginning and at the end, but that never had anything to do with anything in the actual movie. Like, there was never really a time... Like, the way they present that with as closing narration would make you think that in the movie, people would be like, oh, Hellboy's a demon. We can't trust him. He's evil. And he has to prove himself that it's not where he comes from that matters. It's what he does with his life. But that's not a part of the movie. That's not a thing that happens. The only guy who, like, doesn't like him is just this asshole boss guy. And he doesn't even seem to dislike him because he's a demon. He just doesn't like him. So, yeah. Like, it was really weird with that closing narration. I'm like, whoa, that... Okay. Sure, but that wasn't really relevant ever. It was very strange. In fact, everybody was oddly accepting of him. When the soldiers at the beginning of the movie found him when he was a baby, they were like, oh, he's just a baby, it's okay. And then they all just immediately loved him, and they were great. So, I don't know. It was like the opposite of that theme. Nobody even had a problem with him at all. Everybody was just like, oh yeah, Hellboy, whatever. So it was very strange. But yeah, movie was alright, I guess. Fucking with the confusion on my asshole! Get out of there. I'm not gonna deal with that garbage butthole poopy shits. It's not gonna happen. Go, Loopy. I like how Loopy waves. I've never really paid attention to that before. Pongo looks back at me like, I got this shit. But Loopy waves. He's happy to be battling. He's respectful to his opponent. He comes out into battle and he's like, hey, how you doing? You know, he wants to get to know them before he murders them. Give them the courtesy of being acknowledged by his excellence. Excuse me. Are we done? Yeah, you're done. Wilton? Nobody's ever been named Wilton. Like I said before, I read the first Bakano light novel, and it was really cool. A lot of characters, a lot of interconnecting characters and storylines, so it's kind of hard to keep track in my mind. I was like, okay, that guy was with that guy, and he was doing this, and they ran into them, and this and this. I didn't even know there was a guy there. But it was cool. I liked it, and I definitely want to read more. I have the second book, so I want to read that one too. And I'd like to check out the anime sometime. Probably be helpful in the anime having, you know, faces to visualize, but also I'm pretty sure the anime like jumbles around the first like 4 books, so it would make it even harder, but you know, advantages and disadvantages to each one. But all I know is that the book was really, really good. I liked it a lot. It's like with Game of Thrones. I'm glad I watched the show first, because if I hadn't, it would probably be really hard for me to keep track of what's going on in the books, just because having the faces of the actors from the show to visualize when I'm thinking about the characters from the books is really helpful. If I had read the books first, I probably would have been lost. But I haven't read those in a long time. Years, actually, I think. At least like a year and a half, maybe? I was on the 3rd one, towards the end of the 3rd one, and I just stopped. Don't know if I'll go back. just because I don't read much anymore in terms of actual books. It's mostly manga, and now I've been reading some light novels. I kind of want to surf over there, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go back this way, and we'll see what happens when I come back over here. Also read the first volume of the Dorohedoro manga. It's really fucking weird. It's cool so far because it's just got this unique style to it, this unique artwork, and just this unique kind of everything. It's very stylish. And so far, that's really mostly what it is. Just the stylishness and the gore. I don't know how well the story and characters go later on, but so far I'm enjoying it just for the weirdness of the first volume. But I've heard great things, so I'm going to keep reading it and see how it goes. I have the first 3 volumes, I think, so I can read at least that far for now. And yeah, that stuff. Magnemite. Prepare to be quaked. You're done. Okay, great. If there's no grass on this route, there's gotta be at least one patch of grass. I'll go back and surf to get an encounter, so I'll at least have a reason to do it. If for no other reason, because I kind of want to see if there's anything up there, like any tiny little patch of land that has an item on it or something, but if there's no grass, I'll get an encounter. I don't need a water type. Got my trusty captain, but yeah. Hopefully there's grass, and hopefully there's something cool. I don't know. That'd be nice. I'd like to get a good Pokemon. Alright, that could be dangerous. We're gonna not have that happen. It's just a Mareep. But you know, I gotta be a little careful. I'm looking at a map right now. I went to Bulbapedia and I looked up a picture of Route 44. There is actually a patch of grass, but you do need to surf to get to it, so both. I'm gonna surf and I'm gonna look in grass. And that's all it is. That's all the water leads to, is just that patch of grass. I'll probably spray a repel just so I don't run into anything in the water and I can get my encounter in the grass. Let me look at what they have. What do you have to offer me on this route? Generation 4. Bellsprouts, I already have one of those. Weeping Bell, same thing. Lickitung and Tangela. Okay. Bellossom. Switch out. You know, I could use a grass type. I don't have one with me, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it'd be really helpful. I don't think a grass type is necessary with the team that I have now. It doesn't... Like a fighting or fire seems like it'd be really good for me, but grass just doesn't really seem like it would add much. So, you know, I could use my Bellsprout if I really wanted to. But I just don't really want him. So Tangela, don't really care all that much. Lickitung is kind of neat. He's got a big tongue, but can't really say I really want him either. He's just this normal type, doesn't evolve. You know, whatevs, dog. Pongo's 37, he wants Zen Headbutt? Wow, okay. What's that all about? 80? That's nice. It's physical, though. You're like a special dude, aren't you? Noctow's more of a special attacker? 50. Well, I don't really need... It's 90 and 95. It takes 2 turns. But that's special. So that's the thing. These are... Should I get rid of... I don't need I'll get rid of Hypnosis. I don't need it. It's fine. If I want to inflict a status, I'm probably going to go for Paralysis. Have I really used Hypnosis? I did before, right? In like a big battle? I don't even remember. I don't remember the things that have happened in this game, apparently. I remember Whitney and her Clefairy, piece of shit. And I remember the rivals sometimes. That's about it. Nobody else has really done much to me. There's that guy, and then I think that's it. Yeah, I already fought them, so... I'll fight this guy, then I'll get an encounter. I won't even spray a repel in the water, I'll get what I get. In the next episode, though, because I'm going to end this one after I fight this guy. Edgar. I'm going to kill him dead. Remoraid, for some reason, evolves into Octillery. That's a little bit weird, honestly. I don't really see the connection, but okay. It's fish, turns into an octopus. Has, like, picky peck, a woodpecker, and then evolves into another woodpecker, then evolves into a toucan. A little odd, but okay. Yeah, I'm keeping my rock ground type out against your water types, because it's fucking Remoraid. Look at its stupid mouth. It's just like, there. I don't care. I'm going to crush it with rocks. And there it is. That's what happens when you have a Remoraid. I'm sorry. Or two, for some reason. Oh, it's right. It's right as rain. And that's how we're going to end the video. What do you think? Oh, aww! That's adorable! My rock is cold! I'm gonna hug him. Alright. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.